Hey everybody, this is Congressman-elect Kitover. This is an article about Darin LaHood that came out today, April 23rd, 2025. Breaking news. Representative Darin LaHood is considering a GOP primary bid for Senator Dick Durbin's seat, opening a clear path to victory for Congressman Kitover-elect. LaHood is considering an open to a primary run for the U.S. Senate seat, according to a source with direct knowledge of the congressman's thinking. The congressman has almost $6 million in cash to run his campaign. Republican donors, party officials, and elected officials are encouraging U.S. Rep. Darin LaHood to run in the Republican primary race to succeed Senator Dick Durbin, and he's interested. LaHood is considering and is open to a primary run for the U.S. Senate seat, according to a source with direct knowledge of the congressman's thinking. Congressman has $6 million in cash on hand to help a potential bid, and he's seen as one of the few Republicans in the state with the ability to raise significant amounts of money. LaHood is getting pushback from both the left and the right. The right is mad at him for his wait-and-see approach to President Trump's tariffs, and the left is upset about his votes on key spending bills. The congressman endorsed Trump in the 2024 primary and has thus far largely supported the president's policies. So, can't actually view anymore because we do not have a subscription to sometimes. But let's see what it says in Google. Darin LaHood, Senate. Let's see what it says. Anything in the news? Dick Durbin steps down. Could Illinois Republicans finally flip the seat? Dick Durbin steps down. Could the Illinois GOP finally flip the seat? Senator Dick Durbin's decision not to run for re-election has local Democrats salivating to take a seat, but don't count out Republicans. Durbin served nearly 30 years in the Senate, the high-ranking national figure. Durbin beat Republican challengers Mark Caron, Jim Oberweis, Steve Saulberg, Jim Durkin, Al Salvi during his Senate tenure. None of those challengers had ever held major office. Yes, but the 2026 landscape will be different. The lack of an incumbent could open the door for a much more competitive race, especially if Republicans find the right candidate. What they're saying, the GOP needs to banish the perennial Dick Uihlein-funded campaign consultants who repeatedly spend millions promoting candidates that have no chance of winning a general election. A former Illinois GOP chair, Pat Brady, tells Axios that would be a good first step. In the last few statewide election cycles, major donors have backed more conservative MAGA candidates who have won GOP primaries but were walloped in the general election. Some intriguing names could include Rep. Mary Miller, Rep. Darin LaHood, and even former Rep. Adam Kinzinger. Senator Durbin's retirement was long overdue, Jake Ford, LaHood's campaign spokesperson, said in a statement. Voters are tired of out-of-touch liberal policies that have failed working families, prioritize illegal immigrants, and far-left ideological agendas over hard-working American taxpayers. By the numbers. The 2024 election netted some positive transaction control. Several collar counties showed better results, but the most recent municipal select many of the gains were coming to Trump's at the polls. Illinois is considered a blue state, but it hasn't been that long since Illinois Republicans controlled a Senate seat. Senator Mark Kirk held office from 2010 to 2016 before losing to now Senator Tammy Duckworth. Duckworth pulled almost 55% of the vote in the election. The Democrats are very organized, thanks in part to Pritzker. The challenge for the Democratic Party is finding someone who can balance the needs of the urban, suburban, rural, blah, blah, blah. So stupid. Okay, so it's LaHood versus LaHood over Musk. What is this? Scoop. Elon Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency are pitting father and son Ray LaHood and Darin LaHood, both Republicans, against each other. At issue, Ray LaHood, the former Illinois congressman who served as U.S. Transportation Secretary, signed onto a letter with 59 other former members of Congress urging congressional leaders to exercise constitutional powers to stop any one person from seizing control of government. Even more alarming, the letter continues, is that these operatives have been granted direct access to federal payment system, placing Social Security payments, military salaries, and government disbursements under private influence. On the other side, LaHood, Darin, the current congressman who represents the area around Peoria, declined to comment about the letter. But just last week, he praised Donald Trump's policies after hearing the president's address to Congress. Trump and Republican lawmakers are creating opportunities. LaHood said, while there's still work to be done, I'm confident under Trump, Republicans will continue to deliver a more prosperous, secure future for our nation. A tricky situation. Ray LaHood told Playbook he didn't talk to his son about signing on to the bipartisan letter that is part of a broader initiative to support Article 1 of the Constitution, which spells out the role alleged, also putting the names of the letter of former Senator Carol Moseley Brown, Congressman Cherry Busas, both Illinois Democrats, drawing the line. In their letter, the former members of Congress don't deny the government could use some belt tightening, but they say there's a limit. Wasteful spending and burdensome bureaucracy can and should be addressed, but this is not the way to do it. Congress must not allow their constitutional authority to be usurped. Senator Dick Durbin joined scientists, professors, students, others Friday to protest federal cuts that impact the science community. Okay, so that's Politico. Let's look at this one. Search for the next U.S. attorney. In Chicago underway again in dramatically changed landscape. Brian Fitzpatrick left is on hand as Rep. Darin LaHood speaks during the House Select Committee on Intelligence annual open hearing on worldwide threats at the Capitol in Washington on March 9th, 2023. That was Tribune. This is from February 26th of this year. Darin LaHood, a Peoria Republican, announced in a news release Tuesday that he's leading the search for potential nominees to give President Donald Trump, whose ultimate selection for the plum job would then go through a confirmation process. 2 years without a permanent leader, the search for the next U.S. attorney in Chicago is officially underway. Okay. All right, so that concludes our daily opposition research on Darin LaHood. Go to John Kitover on Instagram. Link is in the YouTube chat. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Vote John in the 16th District.